Cincinnati is kind of turning into a melting pot of cultures. And I think this is just a fantastic step forward.
It brings Eastern and Western thought together.
I was really astonished by the amount of energy it generates.
It's a very diverse group of people. We all part of the Shanti because we feel connected.
But here, the sound, I feel, is something totally unique, and totally, ethereal, and totally different.
The energy comes from the excitement that the music engenders in people.
It's like a great fellowship. It's excitement.
There's a lot of things you probably have never heard and maybe never will hear, again.
You don't have to understand the words to feel, what the music is saying.
Namaskar, Vandanam, Vanakkam. Welcome everyone to the Foundations TV studio. Today our guest is Dr. Kanniks Kannikeswaran, a musician, composer, scholar, music educator. He's also famously referred as the magical musician from Madras. Welcome to our studio, sir.
Thank you, Madhu.
It is a pleasure having you here. So I learned that you are the founder and director of Shanti, A Life of Peace.
A Journey of Peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us how the concept, it all started.
Sure. See, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's such a joy to be here in Boston. And Shanti, A Journey of Peace is a spectacular multimedia musical concert featuring a large cast of singers, musicians, dancers, and so on and so forth. It's at the core of the choral work that I've been doing over the last 20 years. So Shanti tells the story of the interconnectedness of all of life and the universal message of peace, which is central to our living, basically. And it tells this with a picture painted on a very large canvas. So there's a musical score that is performed by an Indian community choir of about 100 singers, and a Western choir of about 50 singers. So the Indian musicians, Indian singers are all community singers who have a good ear for music. They learn the music by ear, and the Western singers learn the music from a score, and they bring the whole score to life together. And accompanying this all this is a symphony orchestra. Like all portion of a symphony orchestra of about 30 to 35 musicians, and there's dances from all over India, and there's a lot of visuals that can help convey the message of peace and the way of life that can resonate with every one of global citizens.
It is really amazing how you can bring so many people together and actually make it happen. It's really mind-blowing how you do that.
Yeah, Shanti has happened in many different places. I wrote it in 2004. We performed it in Cincinnati a few times, and then in Houston, then in Atlanta, and in Eastern Pennsylvania. And now for the first time, it's going to happen in the Bay Area. So we have two major performances of the largest ever Shanti with a cast of about more than 250 on April 30th in San Jose, in Cupertino, and in Oakland on May 21st. So there's lots happening now.
This is really an exciting news for all the music lovers out in the Bay Area. So the very first time when you had to execute a plan, bringing together so many people, what were the challenges that you faced?
First of all, Indian music is about individual self-expression. It's only in Western music that you have large choirs that rehearse on a regular basis. So when I wanted to build a large choir of about 100 singers of Indian origin, first of all, in a place like Cincinnati, where you go looking for 100 singers, so my wife said I was crazy. Then when I told a few of my friends that my wife thought I was crazy, and they all agreed with her.
Oh my God!
But I still went knocking on door after door. I used to go to all these Indian community events to announce this, and slowly people started coming. We started with like 35, and then it grew to 40, 45, and 50, and before we realized it, it was like 80 or so. Then when the Western community choir decided to collaborate and sing with us, we were expecting about 85 people in a church on one night, and then they had to put like 40 extra chairs. And then we rehearsed a piece called Gange in praise of the river Ganga. So it felt like a river was flowing through the church. That's the kind of energy that we had.
A very century, I'm getting goosebumps just listening about it.
And each time we do it, we get goosebumps. And so, to me, the index of success of a Shanti performance is whether it's able to invoke the same feelings in me that I got when we all work together or not. That's what it is.
Yeah, so Kanniks, you're the founder of American School of Indian Art, and you conduct workshops for the local youth and community, and I'm sure you're inspiring the local community there. Can you tell us more about it?
See, the Asia is the educational component of my work. So we offer training in Indian music to children as well as adults, and conduct workshops on music appreciation, because see, our community is thirsting for knowledge. Okay, our community is very multi-dimensional. We are not just unidimensional people, and we want to know more. And we like to, we support the arts, and we support a lot of things, and it helps to know what we are supporting. Because our music has a lot of history. So listening to music is kind of incomplete if you do not know the context. So it's through these workshops that we provide the context for adults as well as children. Also, we offer workshops on identifying raagas. So there's hundreds of raagas that are in use both in Hindustani and Carnatic music. And by the way, I don't differentiate between the two traditions as the northern and the southern ones, because they are both based on raagas of India, so I refer to them as raga vidya. So we have students of both Hindustani and Carnatic music coming to us for workshops to learn how to identify a raga when they listen to a raga.
Right. Yes. I think that's really important, that it makes them to enjoy the music even more.
You can relate to it more, you can own it more, you can create more, because I think each person is ultimately a creator, right?
Yeah. So, thank you for providing a great platform for all the youths and local communities to learn more about the music. And I want to, reading your blogs and following your TalkNet, I know that you met with our former Indian President, Abdul Kalam. So can you share that experience with us?
It was a great honor meeting President Kalam. So here's how it happened. See, I had created an album called Vismaya. Yeah. The word Vismaya means wonderment. And this album featured compositions from the 1800s, which were based on Western tunes that came to India, to which a composer by name Muthuswami Dikshita wrote lyrics in Sanskrit. So we have something magical here. We have catchy tunes from the West and heavy-duty lyrics in Sanskrit on top of them. So, and this to me was a source of wonder, and I was wondering why we hadn't studied about it in detail in history or in music history or anything like that. So I continued my research on it and then recorded the entire set of 39 compositions with Western orchestration and with Indian voices. And we were invited to present this as a program in front of President Kalam. So it was like presenting a world of tomorrow. So what is the world of tomorrow? What are the possibilities of tomorrow? So the idea is that if somebody steeped so much in an orthodox tradition could step out of the boots and create something so magical, even during the dark days of British colonization, what is possible for us? That's what this program explored. And we performed this in front of President Kalam two times, one in Lexington, Kentucky, one in Seattle, and both times we got a very powerful standing ovation from him as well as everybody gathered there.
That must be
It was quite an honor. It was an honor. It's an unforgettable moment. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
And you also own a website called TempleNet.
Yes.
And it captures all the ancient details of all the temples.
I started writing this TempleNet website about 20 years ago. See, basically each time I went to India, I would feel that there was a lot of stories waiting to be told. Each temple has a lot of history, plus a lot of sculpture, a lot of architecture. A lot of architectural details and splendor, which in my opinion needed to be told and communicated to the world. So I started in my own small way a database of temples, and then later on expanded it to a website, and I've published information on more than 1,000 temples from all over India, and I'm still waiting to grow this site and expand it into a portal and make it available to a wider range of people.
Definitely. You've been a great resource for many people like us who are more curious and who want to learn about the music and the ancient culture of India. So
believe me, Madhu, there's a lot to be learned for all of us, and more than that, there's a lot of stories to be told.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we have a great Indian community, big community in Boston. So you should let us know if you're ever going to perform in Boston. So
I would love to, Madhu. Let me tell you this. See, that the work that I do energizes me. So each time I go work with a new community, like we perform Shanti in so many different cities now. We performed another production called Chitram. There's another one called Sharad. And there's another one called Raagas and Symphony. So all these have built community around music in so many different places. So even as we speak, I'm working on a performance in Dallas with children and with adults at the same time. And then Shanti is happening in California. And then over all these years, I've worked with communities in about 16 cities. And each time it gives the same feeling of excitement and goosebumps. And so I would love to keep doing this for the rest of my life. And I'd be greatly honored if I could work with the people here in Boston. There's a tremendous amount of talent here, and we could easily create magic on a much larger scale here in Boston, and I would look forward to doing that anytime.
Yes, it will be our pleasure to have you see your performance.
Thank you, Madhu.
And thank you for your time today. Really appreciate you coming down and talking to us after your conference.
It's my pleasure and honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.